Dear friends, dear colleagues, dear Mr. Nunes and team, dear Christos in Greece. Thank you for having me. Even though it's virtual, it's my pleasure to speak to you and with you for this important moment as you organize this forum. And you've done that before. I spoke at the forum in 2023 and I spoke about demystifying pensions. And already then I saw firsthand your shared commitment to making occupational pensions work for all the Greek. And since tangible progress has been made, as you have taken a very important first step. By transferring IOP supervision to the Bank of Greece, you have created a single independent hub for pension oversight that can build trust and lays the foundation for skill. And this is how we begin to solve the fragmentation challenge. Not just by growing a market, but by ensuring that it's well regulated, that it's transparent and resilient. And this is exactly the kind of unified approach Europe needs as we work towards a true savings and investment union. By navigating the transition to a new regulatory and supervisory regime for occupational pensions, you need to have sustained effort. You need to have cultural adaptation and you need to have careful implementation while managing three critical challenges. And I want to share those three with you. The first critical challenge is that you need to ensure consistent protection of all pension savers. You cannot have a two-tier system where pension savers are provided by different entities, by insurers, by IOPs, that the pension savers themselves therefore face different standards of protection simply because they're in a different fund. That is not a good way forward. The second challenge is that you need to address lingering frictions from the past. You may have had old rule-based regulation that, but now that can pose barriers. It can stifle efficiency and market growth. You need to recognize that, but you also need to then actively remove that. And finally, and not less important, you need to instill a culture of risk ownership. An ownership and a culture where IOPs don't simply follow rules, but they actually actively manage risks and they make informed decisions and they demonstrate their accountability for the outcomes of their actions. Now, why does this matter? The numbers will give you a very clear answer. The IOP sector in Greece has grown, and it has grown to 27 funds managing 628 million for nearly 70,000 members. That is clear progress. At the same time, it is a country with 10 million citizens, approximately, where only 51,000 are actively saving in occupational pensions, where the average contribution is just around 2,400 euro, and where there is definitely a pronounced home country bias with 37% of assets in Greek origin products. Now, that doesn't make you an outlier in the EU, not at all, but it does mean that we still have work to do, and in EU, but also in Greece. It is important to expand the pension coverage and to increase savings. TECA represents an important stepping stone towards funded pension, yes. But supplementary pensions should also play a role for those who can save more, for you need to close the Greek pension gap. To make this happen, Greece can lead by expanding coverage and scale throughout enrollment, by making use of financial incentives to encourage increased contributions, and by supporting wise, diversified investments that power economic growth while securing the retirement income of future pensioners. Now, for me, the question is not whether you could make this happen. For me, the question will be how fast you can turn this vision into a reality for each Greek citizen. The road ahead demands collaboration, but the progress you have already made shows clearly what is possible when you work together, when we work together. So at this point, I would like to thank the Hellenic Union of IOPS, the Bank of Greece, the ministries, and all of you for this commitment to this vital work for the good cooperation, and then congratulate you on where you have gotten today. You're a successful startup. You can move to the scaling phase. So I encourage you to continue to build on this momentum and drive this important mission forward, definitely also today during the discussion. And I truly hope to see you soon again.